Vod's got a 0-2. Hmm. All right. Then we need to fix that. You want to take a brief, let me look at something here real quick. Let's take a brief, like 3-minute intermission and then we'll be right. Okay.
right. So, of the PCs and NPCs that are presently involved right now, there are two NPCs involved and five PCs involved in this initiative order, round one. Uh, the both the NPCs took a uh, both the NPCs took a threat on their vigilance roll due to Vod's sneaking, but they still outrolled you guys. So the initiative order is NN and then five Ps to start this round. Round one, because Vod snuck up in a stealthy way. This round, the initiative order will go PNN PPP. With that first P being VNNPPP. So Vod gets to go first this round due to sneaking. Um, and uh, action.
All right. So to be clear, the smell came from what I think I remember at the very last episode was I know how to come down a rope, but Vod's
Smeared it.
anatomical problems from war damage smeared. Yeah, smeared it. Okay, let's
Yep.
just not get
Yep.
graphic.
And the breeze is kind of coming in from that direction. And so they didn't hear you drop, but they're like, what the heck is that smell?
And what Vod sees is two. What do these troopers look like? They're not
Um,
Imperials, or
so
are they?
going to roll 20. They look like kind of like that. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
not Imperial markings though.
no, no, and yeah, like their suits kind of look like that. I'm gonna say like they don't have helmets, but yeah,
Okay,
just kind of tough looking non helmeted troopers. Uh, with yeah, yeah, with
okay.
your quick glance as you pop behind them. And remember,
Uh,
there's one here, Vod, that you're like you're engaged with this one, and this one's short to you.
okay. Um, so Vod doesn't have his garrote, but he is nonetheless going to try. Um, and I don't know how this works, but I'm going to try a silent choke out maneuver. So,
So you're gonna put the when you ended it last time, you had the Beatrix root in your hand,
oh yeah,
aimed at his
sorry.
neck.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. Yep, yep. Um, I'm going to just put my hand over his mouth at the same time, stick the Beatrix root. So I don't know if that's like a brawl check or whatever, but I'm going to
Yep.
Beatrix root him in the neck
So that
quietly. Like
yep, and
Bot is 100% thinking, like even the body dropping to the floor will sound like a leaf falling in a quiet breeze.
so Vod, it's just gonna be an athletics versus athletics check to see if you can kind of do this as you close in.
Okay.
Um, and so it's going to be your athletics rating versus RRP.
RRP. Here we go. All right. Five with a threat. I don't know that my five gets me anywhere other than success, but go ahead and let me know how that.
You successfully overpowered him, and you have planted Beatrix root into his neck.
And the
Uh,
stealth is
uh,
also successful, right? That is quiet. Like the point was stealth, so that is successful, right? Hopefully.
yeah, you are right now. I mean, in that maneuver, you were yeah your stealth allowed you to go first in this initiative order. Your stealth allowed these two guys to have rolled a threat on their vigilance checks. So your stealth has kind of factored in so far. You overpowered him, and so he is going to Beatrix root, a syringe of Beatrix roots, um, knock somebody out with a little anterograde amnesia, so he's not going to kind of remember. what happened just now, and he kind of he's gonna pass out. um, he is going to be out for about 10 minutes from Beatrice route. And when he wakes up, he won't remember what has just happened. So you were successful in you're successful in your action there of doing that. Um, the the the
Give it to me.
threat, I think, is the wind picks up a little more, and the stench is like ever more foul for the guy short away, and he is his awareness is heightened ever more that something is amiss, something doesn't smell right around here.
Perfect.
And you've done your action there, Vod.
Yep.
You would still have a couple of maneuvers if you want to use them.
Um, in the area, like mostly I'm thinking like how to stay in stealth and to stay close to the next guard. If there's a darker corner that makes my stealth harder to detect, or like what, if I was sneaking around, if there's a darker corner in the area and I'm a little bit out in the open on the balcony, I would pull back. It might still be within short range, but I'm going to move, or it might be, to the corner right behind the other guard where I think if he might turn towards the rope, I'm gonna move towards and get into the dark corner close to the guard, either short or engaged, but the darkest corner I can hide near the other guard is where I would move to, and maybe away from what I think is what is getting his attention, which I imagine is the sound, but it's actually the poo rope. But I'm going to move away from that spot and get into a dark corner, which I imagine from the way you laid out roll 20 would be like to the bottom left corner behind him in that area on the balcony.
So he would be so he's probably short to you right now, and then the far corner of the balcony here would probably be another short. So that would be probably like a medium to get all the way over there.
So
Uh,
it would be me moving into darkness, either tucking into my corner or close to him. It's hard to, theater of the mind, but
yep.
uh, Vod's prioritizing hiddenness wherever that is. And it might be further into the
Okay.
corner here. Uh, it- you know, I don't know that the rope is giving me away,
Yep.
but I'm going to go
Okay.
into darkness or what I think is stealth.
Okay. Um, and yep. And one of the ends of the initiative order is out. um, and it would be the second N then goes, and um, he detects movement out of the side of his eye as his awareness of like something over there has been increased, and he's like and he sees his friend, his companion, his colleague down, and he he is going to uh, see that, gasp, and move a maneuver towards the friend that is down, while kind of pressing, like the cop little uh, microphone that cops have on their shoulder, like, man down on north balcony, man down on north balcony. And then you hear him, like, he presses something on his shoulder that emits like this, like, really like high pitch, like whine, like this pitch that's almost like higher. You can kind of hear it, but it's this really like high pitch emitter that goes off on his shoulder. So, man down, this really high pitch, as he makes a maneuver towards his friend, and kind of crouches down. And as he's looking down at him, he's like, "There's a rope there," and he's like trying to like take in the scene. and be like, what the hell's going on here? And so he is going to do just a general vigilance check right now against Vod stealth to see if he's able to kind of pick up Vod in the shadows. So Vod in G's and Y's, what's your stealth?
3 yellow,
3 yellow. All right. So he is,
3 red.
and he is going to he's going to flip a destiny, and his awareness is slightly heightened there. He's going to take a boost on this roll, and he'll flip a destiny and see if he can pick out the any features of this situation. Uh, Vibe, he uh, sees you. Wow. Okay.
Ooh, that's great.
He is able to see. He picks out this shadowy figure, kind of like from where he just went from, a short distance away. Um, he uh
Has he already taken his action by doing all this?
yeah, he did his action.
Okay.
He's made a maneuver. So he is going to
Shit himself.
yeah, he's uh Triumph is yeah, Triumph is he's able to uh uh he
Throw
Triumph is
throw Vod off or
he
something. Yeah.
he is the he has a special call, so he does a like to whistle for the to try to get the guard dog's attention. So he's able to try to initiate a guard dog response by whistling in his as he looks, seeing the situation. Um, the five five threat is in the surprise of seeing uh, in the surprise of seeing Vibe just scared the hell out of him. His friend's down. He he trips backwards over uh, the the downed body of his friend, and in tripping and stumbling, a key card falls from his hip and kind of clanks on the balcony, kind of away from him. So kind of between him and Vide, his key card just. How's that?
Perfect.
All right. All right. Second PC. So he sees you, Vod. He's activated an alert. There's somebody here. He's tried to whistle for the dogs, and he clanked his key card away from himself.
And you said he's on the metal platform, right?
He's
Up
on
a
the
level?
balcony. He's on the
Balcony.
balcony with Vod, which is on the second floor, which from you in the trees right now, Roquan, because you were back there in the distance, you're medium to the outer fence. And remember, the outer fence is is medium to the balcony. So you are you're 4 range bands away from him right now.
4 range bands away.
Yeah. And hiding in the, if because you're hiding in the trees, but that's where you are. Yeah. And that's where Mookie is too.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna wait if somebody else wants to go.
Who's going now?
I can
Okay.
go.
So I'd
Um,
rather wait if you want to go.
yeah, I um are the dogs eating the liver
The
cheese?
dogs were snarfing the cheese,
Okay.
and you just heard Ted from where you are, kind of a, and the dogs are kind of like, and kind of like starting to look towards the front, if you will.
Okay. Um, and I'm gonna attract them, and I'm gonna be like, "Here, look, I've got more liver cheese," and I'm gonna like wave it towards them. Am I on the other side of a fence of them from
You're
them though?
Yep, you're on the other side of the fence where you kind of pop fly the liver cheese in, but there's a fence separating you and the dogs right now. Yes,
So I'm just gonna try and keep their attention.
yes, and I want to know how well you're going to keep their attention here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, charm, charm,
Sure,
no,
sure.
survival. You're like interacting with
Survival.
animals.
Makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
survival.
Do,
So
do
just
I do I get
yes,
anything
go ahead.
from the triumph that I rolled in my pool at
Uh,
all?
you get a automatic, you get a free maneuver to start this turn.
Okay. Um. Hmm.
It doesn't count as one of your two possibles.
I'll move a little bit farther away from the front when I'm
Yep,
like gesturing towards them. So I'll move kind of, I guess, south on this map.
south. Yep, yep. Um, and yeah, uh, you're going to go against their discipline because they just heard their like uh, attention. We need you call, but
Yeah.
liver cheese. So survival against an average difficulty.
All right. Here goes. Nope. Didn't get it. Two threat.
Uh, the that that did not allure them. And the two threat is in like here here boy as you're moving the cheese past you
Yeah.
you actually like smear a little of that cheese on like your upper incisor. Oh, and that two strain. You just like smacked your
Got it.
face with the cheese, two strain.
All righty. Thank you for that.
Um, you still have the maneuvers to use if you want.
Yeah. I will. Um. I guess I'll just kind of stay. Uh, I'll move north again since I didn't keep their attention because they're heading that way.
Yep, they're starting to kind of.
Yep.
Yep. Um, and so just keeping track of that. So if you're moving north, like right now, Ted, I would say like um, from here to here, like from here to here, where you started this turn was probably medium. Um, if you went if you went this way one and then back this way one, so you're still kind of like medium to excuse me, sorry, this way, so you're like I'd say then you're like medium to here.
Okay.
Is that all right
Yeah.
with what you've moved so far? If you want to take strain to move another one, you could.
Oh, I guess I could. Yeah, sure. I'll take strain to move another one.
So you're uh short to kind of the turn
Yeah.
on the outside of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I put these in myself just to keep track of them, but if you guys want to put in your own characters to move them, All right. Next PC.
Okay. I am going to drop down from the tree and run up to the fence. I'm not sure how close the fence is to the tree. Run up to the fence though.
That's medium.
It's medium. Okay.
Yep.
So
Take 2 strain.
I'll take 2 strain to do that. Yep. And then I'm going to alter the ground underneath and dig it out. If you see this is what I'm trying to do.
See what? Where should I be looking?
Um, I shared my screen. I'm not sure if you can see
Oh,
that.
oh,
So
On
I'm
Shepherd's
kinda,
Sling.
oh, sorry. Yeah. There
what?
Okay. Basically, I'm going to just gonna I'm gonna motion to the bottom part of the fence and kind of pull it out, not physically touching it, but kind of alter and like dig away from underneath and try and dig a hole essentially underneath the gate, or not the gate of the fence.
Yep. I just
Which
got to
I'll have to
follow
roll.
along in which book is Alter in again?
I'm not sure which book. I've
Okay.
had to grab it online.
Okay.
I don't have it in a book myself.
The 1 second.
Yep.
Because you basically know like the basic Alter, right?
I have one control. Let me look it up. So what I can do is let me find it here. There we go. So I have range 1 and then control 1, so I can affect firm terrain such as packed earth, stone, or ice. So I believe it would fall under that.
Yep. Yeah, just trying to remember which one it's in because I just want to follow along, my friend.
Sure.
Um,
Let me see if it says. Let me see if it says yeah, it's in my character sheet. It is in that.
what book
Oh,
it
it
comes
says
from?
it's page 42 of Unlimited Power, a source book for mystics.
Thank you. That was my third guess.
Mhm.
Thanks, buddy. Just a second. I just want to follow. I want to follow along. All right. So, um, so you have that. Which control do you have?
So I have the first range,
Yep.
and then I have the
So
control underneath that.
yeah. So you can make terrain currently in short range difficult terrain, or you can
Oh,
make terrain normal terrain.
so I can't like
Um,
can't
so if it was
change
a
it.
really really bumpy street
Mhm.
that made it hard to drive a car over, you could smooth it out, or you could take a very smooth street and turn it really bumpy so it made it hard for something to come by you. Um,
Oh, okay.
but I think it I think it does that. It alters
Gotcha.
the topography. Moving dirt would be probably in like the move tree.
Oh, okay, okay. Hmm.
Um,
Okay. Well, I
It's sort of a
try to
tricky
do that
horsepower
and
because it's
fail.
like you have to, it has a certain function that is in the game with terrain that you think creatively you could do these certain things, but it's kind of within these bounds that you have to
Yeah, it seems
navigate.
like it's a little rigid. Yeah, which is fine. Um, yeah, I'm exploring this thing that I've been kind of learning. So I'm trying to do that. I'm
yep.
not able to do it. I seems like I basically move around the earth in front of the
Hmm.
gate instead of trying to
Hmm.
dig it. So but that's okay. That's okay. So that's kind of what I tried to do. I kind of realized like, okay, well, that's not going to work. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. So I think that's going to be the end of my turn for now, which is
Golly,
fine. That's
I'm
fine.
trying to like.
Roquan hasn't had anyone really teach him this, so he's kind of just trying to like source out what it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this like you could you could use a turn to like kind of scope out kind of like how the terrain is around the fence. And if there's an area that kind of had been like packed in with some earth or something, and you were successful on a perception check, and you want to like kind of like try to like smooth that earth down, and lo and behold, that changes kind of like because you smoothing that out makes like the bottom of the fence actually not line up quite as well with the dirt anymore. I think you could do that. I just think I would want to kind of like I think it might take a second to kind of flesh that out or what that looks like. I think that might be a turn and then try.
Okay.
Not to totally take it away from you, but I think you might have to like kind of scope it out a little bit more than that.
Sure.
Okay, wait. So Roquan maneuvered a ways, and then did he do a roll to reach out with the force? Has he
Yeah,
done an
we just kind of
action?
played with it, and he was like,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't work."
Yeah, because the roll, even if I was successful, wouldn't do what I wanted
Oh,
initially to
okay.
do,
Okay.
basically. So
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. So that's cool though. It gets me closer to the gate, which is the main
You are,
thing.
yeah. So I'll say right now, you took a maneuver. You took two
And an
maneuvers to
action.
get to the gate.
Could I?
If you want to cash one of those actions into a maneuver and not take two strain, you could and just be like, I moved up to the gate.
I would rather do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
Perfect.
And looked at the ground right now, and you're like, there's nothing that looks like I can make difficult terrain or easy terrain right here. Like you kind of scoped it.
Yeah.
Did you run up to the gate or the fence?
Oh, so I keep saying gate, no fence.
Okay,
So
you're up.
right, kind
You're
of
up against
right
the
where
fence.
my icon is, right there.
Okay.
Yep, right next to the gate. Yep. But by the
Yep.
fence, not in front of the
Yep.
gate.
Okay. And next PC. Ruben,
I'll go.
Ruben or
Oh, okay, I'm unmuted. Um, I am, or Mookie's. She's been thinking about these hounds and what they like to eat. She's wondering if she knows if there is like a frequency that would make them want to run in the opposite direction. So like towards the other end of the building. That she could set her voice box to make maybe a high pitch um frequency, something like that.
Yeah. So the
Yeah. So
inner,
the
the
inner,
inner.
the inner.
So the inner ear anatomy of the massive, you're using your xenology to be like, well, I know the bones are this thick and they are this close together. So a frequency that did just this would probably cause a pinch on their cochlear nerve that would be very painful if I were just able to get that powerful of a frequency at the right amplitude into their ear. They're about this big, so I think if I calculate how big probably their stapes would be, I think I have an idea. Yes, you can. That's really hard, but you could definitely try to do that. And so
And so
this is going to be uh, a daunting knowledge xenology check. If you are successful, you know that frequency, which will be a very painful frequency for them to hear. And I'm going to flip a destiny. Because if you get a despair, you might think you know the frequency, but it's actually a frequency that's the size of your inner ear. And if you try to admit it, it might hurt you.
And can I flip a destiny as well?
There was one for you to flip.
All right.
I'm just going to flip it back then. Keep track of it. You are successful in the calculations that you've made, that you recall that if you were able to amplify a frequency to 6,132.3 hertz, if you're able to emit that at a volume loud enough, lots of canine species across the universe find that quite painful.
Well, I have to wait till my next. Can I do that as my maneuvers to plug in those frequencies from my voice box? The action was the knowledge check.
Sure.
Is that a maneuver that I could do? So that's what I'll do. If that's okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that you know, your speaker box is, it's powerful. It's not like a 72-inch, amplifier, and so like that you can do that. That would affect them, I'd say, if they're probably at about like medium distance from you, where you can kind of like direct it. I don't think it's like the entire city, like every dog's head explodes. What do you want to do with that advantage?
Can I reduce my strain by 2?
I think you had one advantage.
Oh, reduce by 1.
Yep. And you're still back in the trees, right? You did not move forward that round.
No, I did not.
Yeah. So you're back in the trees. You can see Roquan. You've got it dialed in. And yeah, next PC. Rubes.
Okay, Ruben's on the opposite side. Does he see a similar reaction out of these?
The dogs kind of are
assets?
chomping on the liver cheese, which they love. But you saw their ears kind of prick up as dogs do when they're starting to notice something. You saw them when you heard the whistle, and immediately you saw their ears prick up.
Okay. I think he's just gonna do a perception check to see if he can observe anything else happening throughout the length of the building that he can see. If he starts to see any movement of other guards coming in, anything like that. So
Yeah, let's just do let's do an average perception check. You're trying to look. You're in the light. This is all lit.
Yep.
So what sense are you using, or you're using all your senses?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do average perception check.
Okay. 1, 2. It's a wash.
There's a pretty strong wind coming from the east, and it blows over the top of the building. It really makes it hard to pick up much with your ears. And as far as you can see up that way, and as far as you can see up that way, north to south, you see these two dogs kind of across the fence in front of you. You don't really see anything else or hear anything else.
Okay. Yep, he just kind of glances around, doesn't see anything new, and he's gonna start maneuvering. Just takes one maneuver north, and he'll even stay in the light for now.
Okay, so you and
If that's the only, unless there's an option to be further away, but I think I'm
well, I
too
mean, if you
too
take,
far away from darkness for one maneuver, I believe. So, like where these lights are shining down, I'm just gonna stay in the light along this fence.
yep, one maneuver gets you
Taking
about
one.
like even with where Ted is.
Okay.
And you don't have to do any strain. If you go 2 maneuvers, that would be medium, and you'd be like now kind of like looking around. You'd be able to like see the balcony where Vod is.
Okay. I think he's just kind of strolling for now. He's just gonna take one maneuver.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of round 1. And here's what happens at the kind of the end of round 1. You know, other folks and animals have been alerted at this point, and they are joining in the initiative order. The dogs who were on Ruben's side took a couple setbacks in their cool rolls, and I just gotta get them in the initiative roll here. One of them rolled 1 success, 1 advantage. One rolled 1 advantage, 1 triumph. The dogs on Ted's side, one rolled 1 success and one rolled 2 success, 3 advantage. And there are and the guards were alerted as well on the far side, one rolling 1 success, 2 advantage, and one rolling 4 success, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. And so that is
The
going to
guards
look
on the
like
south balcony got the alarm and
they
were
got
alerted.
the guy down
Yep.
in the cop like shoulder CB that cops
Check.
wear. And so 1 second here, let's get that. I'm going to set the initiative order here. And it's going to be a big one for a second here. Sorry, guys. And then, oh boy, yep, yep. And then, and then, okay.
It's a little terrifying. We're like trying to be quiet and sneak in, and the alarms are
Yeah.
off, and the library of historical information that the Empire is controlling is on fucking lockdown, and there's goddamn dogs,
And got that, and then,
and we're waiting to hear if who knows what and when. And we just really want someone's thesis paper. We're just looking for their thesis. Just
and
it's
yeah, that's it. That's all you want. Yeah, yeah.
in our side channel. Us players have a whole concept of disseminating information, mostly historical information. We realize that's more important that's actually how we win the war against the Empire. And we didn't think the Empire would guard it like this. And it's gotten difficult.
Just about there. Sorry, guys. This is faster, but it's not quite.
We must.
I
There's
think
like a platoon coming after
Yeah,
us.
yeah. No, no.
I'm putting it out
Yeah,
there. If anyone has if anyone has a triumph when we get into the archives, if we can find Nemec's files of how to build a rebellion, I think that we should find that. But and or reference of Nemec from season 1.
What are the ethics of hiring mercenaries?
Yeah, that I don't think he explored that, but
Uh,
right. Oh, that's good.
all right. So oh Jesus Christ! All right. So this is what's happening. The initiative order. Just get a couple pieces of paper out. Is NNN PPP NNN PPN. The dogs are alerted, and the guards on the south side are alerted. And so what happens next is happy. Yep, yep. So pop, 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 pop. Yep. So there's two of the first ends go, and you don't really see anything. There's just some ends going, and then the last end is like, what the heck is going on? And he pulls his blaster short to Vod, and he blasts at Vod. Vod, are you doing anything?
Let's dodge twice. I'll strain twice for that. I mean, actually, what kind of gun does he have?
I
Is
mean,
it a
you see him
blaster
pull out
pistol?
a. You saw on these guys' hips like cop blasters.
Oh, Vod will just. I'm not going to strain. Vod's going to just look at him and grin. So
All
nothing
right,
on my part.
and he's gonna take 2 strain to pull that gun out, and one maneuver to aim, and he's gonna shoot it by. All right, and that lands Vod on you for 8.
So that smokes across Vod's like partial chest plate and side, and he doesn't even feel it, and he just keeps grinning at him, menacing. Like Vod, brushes his teeth and has good teeth care, but he's a Weequay, and they don't. It looks pretty freaky when a Weequay grins at you and shows his teeth. It's pretty gnarly.
And that's rather unnerving for this guard. Um, and he's short to you. He's got a little more give on the balcony to try to like get some distance here. No, like he shoots you. And he's like, wow, that didn't seem to hurt him, but I blasted him pretty hard, and he's just going to he's still feeling pretty confident. He's gonna aim better. So he's like lining up his shot better for like next time to shoot you, and he is going to feel pretty good about aiming at you like he is. So he's gonna regain a strain there, but he's just gonna like, I just got to shoot him better. Is
Oh,
his vibe.
that's
That's how
oh
he's gonna
hope.
fix it.
That's sweet. That's really hopeful.
And first PC.
I'm going to go as Vod. Vod's. I don't know if I'm short or engaged, but if
You're
I'm not,
short.
I'm short. So I'm going to move. I'm going to move to engage. But Vod just walks slowly up And he doesn't like Vod did not bring his axe here. Vod just brought the gauntlet, so he's wearing his Cortosis gauntlets that he won way back in the arena, and this will essentially be like a brawl, I think. But he's
So
gonna put,
melee.
or yeah, melee. Thank you.
Brawl. Yep. Sorry. Yep. Go
Around
ahead.
he's gonna just put his hand around the guard's throat and be like, um, I think what is Vada going to say? I think he's going to say that the galaxy is better than this, than what you're doing. The galaxy is better than this. Sorry about the shit smear on the rope. And then he's just going to and just put his fist into the guy's face.
All right. That's a brawl check. And engaged.
Roll. Yellow, yellow, green, 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 green. I'm going to upgrade that. Let's just upgrade it 4 times. Hold on. Let me strain for that. Strain 4 times. And then engage, which is purple, purple. See what happens.
Give it to me.
So it's damage, which is my brawn +1. It's not as awesome. 7 +3 for feral strike, which is 10. And then I get the 6, so 16.
Okay. He crumples, lifeless.
Oh, you mean his head, his skull cracks and brain splatters out, I think.
That is what happened.
That's
Yes.
what Bod just punches through him to the
Yes.
deck. There we go.
You just punched his head off. Yes.
Right.
He's dead. He's dead. End down.
Okay. As I don't know how many advantage this would take, or even if it's advantageable, but up to 3, like a triumph. The alarm system is set up to his life force and him being alive, and it turns off, or in some way I also use 3 advantage that alarm is deactivated. Not that those who've heard it have heard it, but can I have that alarm somehow, or as I'm punching, in some way?
Yeah.
All sorts of ways
I
make
would.
that alarm turn off.
Yeah. I mean, I think in like he has kind of one of those like self-defense things, like screechers. You pull the plug and they're like wee 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 wee. Kind of local alarm. You punched him so hard that you like shredded it, so like, and it goes flying off into the yard.
Okay.
So his yeah, and I would say that's like for 3 advantage you could do that.
Okay, and I'll heal a strain.
Okay.
The other one.
And
Vod
anything else you're doing?
He just incidentally wipes the gauntlets off and realizes like cortosis. Yeah, he's licking. He's like trying to figure out like he's trying to figure out the gauntlets. But yeah, basically he's done.
Next PC. And everyone else who's like on the east and west, everyone else, including Vod, like in the fight now are the dogs. So you do hear the dogs like.
I would like to go. I think Mookie's gonna come out from the trees and approach the gate on the closest side where Vod is, towards where the dog on closest to Vod would be coming from, basically.
And you'd hear them more than see them right now.
Okay.
But you just went from the woods
to the gate.
So that's
Or
medium.
sorry, fence.
Mute, Jeff.
So you're there. That's medium. So you can either do a maneuver and an action to get there with no strain, or 2 maneuvers to get there with 2 strain.
I'll do it as my action.
Okay. So you're at the gate looking in.
With my voice box activated at the right frequency and everything.
Yep. So its distance of action right now would be like from where you're standing, kind of like 2/3 of the way, kind of through here. This would be its distance of action, depending on which way you're facing. So if you're facing this direction, it would kind of do this. If you're facing this direction, it would kind of do this. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to be facing the direction towards VOD.
Okay. So it's kind of like it's emitting that high pitch through here. Yep. Cool. Anything else you're doing? Anything else?
No.
Okay. Next PC.
And we've got one guy up by VOD. Is that right?
All guards are down on the
Oh, they're all
balcony
down.
right now. One
Okay.
has been Beatrice Root, and one had his head punched off.
Right. So I'm gonna try and jetpack over to where VOD is.
You're not wearing your jetpack anymore because VOD wore it to fly in.
Oh, right. Duh. All right. I'll go around the front. I'm gonna try and go that way.
So you'd be short to here, and then kind of another. You could get probably to about like short to the front gate, short to Mookie.
Great. With
Yep,
a strain.
yep.
Yep.
You could use a maneuver and an action, and to get there for free. Or you could use 2 maneuvers and then use an action if you want to use an action.
Yeah. I don't really see the action, so yeah, I'll just do that. Cool.
So you are there, and so the next PCs, and those are on that side. Yeah. So you're going to see one of the dogs. The dog that rolled the triumph is going to take a free maneuver because of its triumph, and then it's going to take a maneuver and an action. So one of the dogs you're going to see screaming around the corner. That's now about here. That's going to be kind of short to these stairs right now, and then so you're seeing and hearing that one, and then another one's moving that didn't have the triumph, so it's just kind of coming down the way, and that's 2 of those ends, and then the other end is going to be a dog coming up this way. And that's those 3 ends. And now there's 2 P's and an N left. So it's next P.
Sorry, I don't think I have roll 20 set up right, but where are they? Kind of the left side, the west side of the building, or where are the dogs coming?
Greg, give me a
Ruben will go.
Can you
Yep.
say, sorry, can you say where the dogs were coming up, because I didn't see it on roll 20? Are they going up the left side, like the west side of the building?
So
I know you were
one of
clicking,
them,
but
one of them's in the outer yard right here,
okay.
about short to the steps to get up the balcony right now.
Okay.
That's the only one you could see right now. VOD is that fella.
Not so much
You can
me.
hear many other animals barking. Ruben would see one that hasn't quite made the turn of the corner, and then on this side, there you guys would all just hear but not see them yet. A couple others running up. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Rube.
Yeah. I think for now he's just gonna try again to. I don't know.
You're short to the corner right now.
Yeah. He's just gonna try to start whistling at these dogs, see if they can get him to slow him down or, catch their attention. He's on the other side of the fence, so maybe, if anything, they'll, pay him some attention rather than the old whistle that they heard. Can he?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Survival.
I don't know.
You're gonna do a survival check.
Survival.
Against their discipline.
Okay.
They've kind of been summoned by their call master to kind of attack mode. So you're gonna have 2 setback on this survival check to try to get their attention. So they may start they may slow down how fast they're running in the way that they were called.
Okay. And you said it was average, or did they have a
Average with 2 setbacks.
skill? Average 2 setbacks. Yeah.
It's their discipline skill.
Sure. Average 2 setbacks.
You're successful in getting their attention.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ruben was able to do one of those loud, through the teeth, high-pitched whistles. As he is kind of maneuvering, he's behind him at this point, so maybe they just kind of perk up at him at least for a moment.
Yep. So I'm gonna say with that success, Ruben, mechanically, they don't move for a round.
Yeah.
As they're kind of spinning back.
Yeah. Sweet.
They're kind of, you know what I'm saying? They're they're not they're not under your command, but they're huh? And so it's gonna just kind of stop them for a second. So for the next round 3, these 2 right there aren't gonna move.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Gainfully towards where they were initially called.
Okay. And maneuver, you'll just take another maneuver up towards the corner.
You are
out here.
Yeah, you're moving. Yeah. So you're probably you can now see around the corner. You can see Roquan, who's about medium from you. You can see Mookie, who's about medium +1 from you, and you can see Ted, who's long from you there.
Okay.
And Vod, who's up there with a couple of shadowy bodies.
Vod waves with a bloody gauntlet, basically. Hi, Ruben.
And last PC.
All right, I'm gonna run past the gate. As I'm running past the gate, so I'm gonna run toward here. It's just a short.
Yep.
As I'm running past, I'm gonna see Vod up there with 2 dead bodies and go, Vod, can you let us in? And I'm gonna see kind of just barely that doggo over there. I noticed that these 2 got halted, so I'm gonna focus on this one and try and bind it in place.
Well, I'll say its head is just peeking around that corner.
Perfect.
Angry, low to the ground. And you would be probably about medium to it right now.
Okay.
You're also you're trying to direct something you're trying to direct bind through the fence and around the corner here. So if this becomes are you gonna roll it like a
This one,
opposed?
No, I'm not. No,
You're just kind of gonna try to throw a bind out there.
I just want to hold it. Yep. So I believe it'd just be my destiny.
Your roll.
Or not my destiny, my
Yeah,
force.
yeah. I'll let. Yeah, let's just do that. Yep.
Just to make it simple. I don't want to hurt
Mhm.
it. Okay.
You're just trying to. Well, you're binding it, so.
Well, we'll see. All right, 4 dark. All right, so 1 to bind, 1 for the range, so that'd be 2. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do a strength, which would it'll disorient them as well. I suppose it's not. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna try and bind it. So I think I'll be able to do that with 3 force dice. So it's gonna disorient it, so it'll have a setback to anything it does, and then it'll mobilize it as well for 1
Yep.
turn.
Immobilize it. If the user used any dark to generate, the target also suffers 1 wound
Yep.
per dark spent on the check, ignoring
so
soak. So that one,
it'll be 3.
screaming around the corner also just suffered 4 wounds. You used 1, 2, 3.
I'm only
Go
using
ahead.
3. I'm only using 3.
3 total. You're gonna leave that 4 out.
Yep.
Gotcha. So you use 3 dark. So you're gonna take 3 conflict.
Can you tell us what this is? This a harm or what is this force power? What's happening?
Just bind.
Bind.
So it's just immobilizing it, and then it's gonna have a setback. This is just for 1 turn, with anything it does.
Yep. So for a number of rounds equal to the strength. And so how many of those have you purchased?
I just have 1 of those.
1 of those. So for this next round, it'll both be immobilized and disoriented. So it's basically
until the end of
functionally
my next turn. Yeah.
Yes. So functionally right now for next round, this one, and this one are technically air quotes immobilized for different reasons right now. So Roquan, you moved, you did your action. You're going to do anything else?
Nope. Just the yelling at Vod.
And you just took 3 conflict there, and then last PC, or have you all gone?
I think that was the last.
Okay, and then the last N is just like Roquan seeing like poking around the corner is like another head of a dog coming around that corner, and it is the top of round 3 where it is N N N P P P N N N P P. And so the 3 N's. So this guy's immobilized. This guy's immobilized. Mookie is casting that horrible high pitch thing going this direction. So this thing doesn't really want to move into that. So you've kind of got this right now. You've kind of got all the dogs on lockdown, and so we're just gonna have the first 2 ends. Let's see. Yeah,
Not move.
this
Suffer.
guy. There's just you guys wouldn't necessarily. Ruben might start seeing there's somebody like running down the side of this on the inside there, and then that one there, and then kind of those 3 ends have gone, and 3 P's.
Can I this is I'm not doing an investigation, but more of just like looking around to know my surroundings. I have 2 dead bodies. I have a
Mm-hmm.
on the balcony. Is there a door behind me?
Yeah, there's a door with a keypad.
There's a keypad, and then I see my compatriots. Can I see them kind of down beyond the gate?
Yeah, they're in the floodlight, so outside you would be able to, definitely be able to see Mookie, Roquan, Ted, who are just kind of medium down from you outside the gate. And then maybe if you look down here, you could see like Ruben sneaking around the corner. And you can see
Okay.
this dog kind of looking back towards Ruben. And this, you can see a couple heads of dogs sticking around the corner. One of the dogs is like trying to cover its ears with its paws, and the other one is like held in the air, like twitching by its neck.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the key card and swipe it to open the door.
And what you'll notice on the key card is basically it just has numbers in Arabic on it,
What are the?
but you would notice that the numbers are 44569.
That's what
And
Vod
as,
sees that. Okay.
so if he picks up that little key card that fell on the ground, if he picks it up, he sees that it basically says 44569.
And Vod is literate, so he would know that. Okay. Vod, I mean, I don't know what the key card pad looks like for the door, but if it's a swipe card or a
It has
RFID,
Arabic numbers on it, like it's a
okay.
keypad,
So Vod punches in the numbers 44569.
and the door opens.
Okay. And then can I, as my action, try to well on the comms, this is going to be incidental again if I can pull this off. Guys, I got a key card here. It got me into the building. I don't know if it'll work for the gate, but do you want me to throw it to you or do you want me to keep it? As you guys are all doing your thing. Anyone? Kurds. Damn it,
Throw it
Ryan.
over here, you're saying? Can you get it to us?
I could huck it to the gate. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, here's what I'll tell you. Key card is 44569. Try those numbers. Say it again with me. 44569.
Yeah, 4, 4, 5, 6.
44569.
Mookie, try the gate.
Ruben, I didn't hear you say it.
44569.
All right, all right,
Four,
all
four,
right.
five, six, nine.
That's the number. All right, I'm going in. You guys need some more help, let me know. And then Vod, actually, as Vod's action at this point, he's done that, which is enough, but he's going to go back to the Beatrix root victim and like kind of lodge his thumbs pretty deep into the eye sockets and pull. I don't know what those bones are. It's kind of like the zygomatic process. It's sort of that part of the skull. You get some good grip, and just he's gonna kind of like crack it open and just like make sure that guy's really dead. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry for the
he's
violence.
the guy who is like in sweet propofol
Yeah,
Beatrix root
yeah.
dream
He
sleep.
he does not
You
feel it.
just smashed his head now too.
Yeah, there we go.
He's
That's
he's
all my
he's also
that's that's my those are all
so
my actions and maneuvers to
doors open, bloody hands, and next PC.
Mookie's gonna go to the fence or the gate, the door to get in.
Yep,
And does she see a keypad?
there's a keypad.
She's gonna press the numbers 44569.
And it opens.
did I say 44569? I meant 4556668. Just kidding.
And I guess she's gonna walk. How far is it up to get up to what,
It'd
like
be
where Vod
medium
was?
to get from the fence to the stair to get up the stairs and be on the balcony with Vod would be medium.
Can I strain twice to get there?
Yeah.
After going to the gate, opening the gate, and then getting up there.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do that.
You're up on the balcony with Vod.
Yes.
Okay.
And the door is
And
open.
The door's open. Yep.
Okay.
And
Hey,
next
bud.
PC.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Mookie all the way up to the platform.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. So that would be like couple maneuvers.
Yeah, maneuver in action. Yep.
All right. And then relieved from the binding and relieved from the high pitched sounds. The these guys are gonna come like screaming around the corner to get like kind of to the base of the stairs. And then the last one is not doing anything. He's got his ears on Ruben. Last two PCs.
I think Ruben's gonna stick with what worked last time and see if he can keep up a whistle to distract these dogs as he approaches the gate.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that whistle.
Okay. It's gonna be the same roll, or is it any more hard,
th-
difficult, or anything?
Average survival check. These things are just like still kind of as they see their buddies coming around the corner, they're like, oh, that's where we got to go. And so yeah, a couple setbacks on an average survival check.
Yeah. Ooh, 4 success, but 2 threat.
You are you know, the way I think I'm kind of calling these things is just like each success is a dog. So you've kind of got them all in your interest. Okay. So they're all like looking at you. The the two threats are you have in doing that you've gotten the attention of you've really gotten the attention of one of them who is actually it's actually going to start like pursuing you. It
Okay.
wants to no. I'm not going to do that. Sorry. In doing that, you just kind of like declared your like you pointed yourself out. So this guy that's like hustling up this side heard you doing that and sees and you just identified yourself as like there's a guy out there that I don't know that's like whistling at the dogs. And he is he's alerted of your presence. Yeah.
Okay.
And yep.
Yeah, I will strain this time to see if I can get. Maybe I can get as far as the gate, or
Yeah, that'd be two maneuvers
whatever.
would get you to the gate. So that would do
Yeah,
to the gate would be
maneuvers.
2 maneuvers, and that would be 2 strain.
Yeah. This time he's hustling a little bit.
And Ted.
Oh, and he also he did see that guard, correct? That was coming up the side.
Yeah, he when he's kind of looking around. Yeah.
He's just gonna get on the comms and we got we have a guard coming up the west side. Guard coming up the west side along the balcony. And that's it.
All right, Ted.
I'm gonna try and run up to the door.
Yep, that gets you a maneuver and an action, or 2 maneuvers would get you to the door with the rest of the team.
Great. I'm there.
And yeah, and then it is top of the order. It is the same grouping, and so what happens? So those guys are all looking at Ruben right now. Yeah, he's got their attention. Okay, so the yep. So this guy is going to use a maneuver and an action to kind of run up, kind of get even with this dog. And you guys could probably hear like him just shouting like, we're an emergency at the Suswana Vault. Emergency at the Suswana Vault. Yelling. You just hear him yelling that. As he moves up, the next 2 ends can't do much because they're very interested in the whistling guy, and so first PC.
So to clarify, it's Buck, Mookie, Vod, and Ted are all at the door, or is
Not Buck,
oh,
guaranteed.
sorry, sorry.
Roquan, Mookie, Ted are like looking in the door, and Vod is like pushing his thumbs into the skull of one of the guards. Not
So
quite at the door yet.
everyone but who is at the door?
Ruben is still at the outer gate. He's about medium behind you guys.
Okay. And there's 2 dogs down below us, according to Roll20, and another one to the left. Okay.
Yep. That seem to kind of are like looking to Ruben for. They're kind of looking at Ruben. They've been distracted.
Okay. I'm gonna punt. I'm not gonna do first turn if someone else wants to at this point.
I'll go first. I'm going to try to find the 3 dogs I can see on the front edge there.
Yeah. 2 of them would be short to you. Another one would be medium to you.
Okay. I am gonna try to do an opposed check with these ones.
Okay.
I think now, because they're seeming to be an issue. So let me know what I need to throw on here.
All right, you're just these things are just like, these are outer space pit bulls. So you're just going against their brawn.
Okay.
And so it would just be you're gonna go against you're just gonna make a daunting bind check to try to slow these pieces of muscle down if you're doing a resisted check, opposed check.
Is that
PP?
Okay. Okay. 1 success, 6 advantage, 3 light, 3 dark. So it's so I am gonna bind them, and I am going to since darks were used, I get to, well, let's see.
So first, to get them, they're all arrival level, so you'd have to spend 2 pips to affect 1 additional target within range per rank of magnitude purchased.
Sure.
How much of the
There's
magnitude
2.
have you purchased?
I've got 3 of them, so I could do. I mean, I think it's just 2 for any number of them, right? Right.
Yep.
That's the way I've interpreted that.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So I will. So I'll spend 1 to do it.
Wow,
I'll
you have a
spend 2
lot of
additionals for
magnitude.
magnitude. What's up?
Wow. Oh,
Sorry.
you're
Keep going,
strong
Luke.
in bind. Go ahead.
Yep. So one to bind them. So 1 to bind in general. 2 additional ones. So total of 3 to do magnitude.
You've got to be
Um,
able to get up to
and
medium.
then yep, and then 1 for range. So that's 4.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna do then for those. So I'm gonna do 3 light, 1 dark. Since I
All right.
use
So
the dark. Yep.
using 3 light, you'll take 3 strain for
Mm-hmm.
using 3 light, and you have to flip a destiny.
Oh, we don't have destiny, do we?
I
Oh, we
think you
do.
do.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it
I'll
better
flip a
for him to
destiny.
use dark? I mean, it's
It
like
is, but it's
Depends on
not
depends
narratively,
on
but
depends on what the man is wanting to do.
right. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
I'm trying to use light here because I'm trying. I tried initially to not hurt them. I didn't want to
Oh,
hurt
okay.
them,
Yeah, that
and
makes
it just
sense.
ended up slowing him down. So this is kind of like a against my what I'm trying to do, but I feel like I need to do it.
You're still
So
trying
that's
to
why
not
there's light.
hurt animals, but you might.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So use
But
3
since
light,
I
1
am
dark.
using, huh?
Use 3 light, 1 dark.
Yep. And
Okay.
since I am using dark, any dark, it's not going to stagger. It's going to do a critical injury, basically.
On all of
It's a,
them.
well, no, just well, I guess I haven't been in this situation before. With rivals.
Yeah, just
So
against 1 target of the power.
yeah, I would assume it's just 1.
Yep.
Yep. So it'll be a critical injury plus 10 per pip use. So 10, so plus 40 basically. It'll be a crit plus 40.
And which one do you want to apply that to?
Let's just do this one right here, the one closest.
Okay. So why don't you roll me an exclamation point crit space plus 40?
Blinded. The target can no longer see. Upgrade the difficulty of all checks twice. Upgrade the difficulty of perception and vigilance 3 times.
So
Interesting.
you just like what so that dog, the closest one to you, you went to bind it, and what did that just look like? Jesus.
Um, in trying to stop them all, I think I I was focusing too much on the right side, I think, and instead of being able to grab both of them equally, uh, I kind of focused a little too much on the one that's right in front of me, and it put too much pressure on his head, and it looks like his it popped some blood vessels in its eyes.
Yeah, it just makes a horrible like screeching sound as you did that, as it becomes blinded.
Yeah.
Um, yep.
And then
Yep.
I was gonna say I think all 3 of them would be immobilized then until the end of my next turn, and then they all take 1 wound because I used 1 dark grip.
I agree.
So
I agree with that adjudication. Yep. And they're all immobilized. One of them is blinded and yelping, just really like a
Wait,
pretty horrible sound.
holy shit.
And
So he
one
just
conflict.
crushed the
and
eyes
yeah,
of
so you
the.
take one.
The
Go
poor
ahead.
eyes.
Sorry, I'm trying to picture what happened here for the rest of us
Yeah.
who may have seen it or not. But one of the hounds just like whimpered as his eyeballs got crushed, and the other two just are like locked, locked up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Wow.
Yep. They kind of locked in
Jesus
place.
Christ.
And
Well, they can't use a maneuver, I should say, to move. But
And I'm gonna say you take one conflict just because you used a dart. And then Roquan on a living four-legged being running up to you. You're trying not to hurt it, and in trying not to hurt it, you just completely like crushed its orbits. So I think Roquan's going to take like another conflict for the gruesomeness of that injury on that dog-like animal.
Okay. And then for
And then,
the advantage,
yep,
I'm going to
6 advantage.
yeah, 6 advantage. How about the can this one kind of let's say it maybe gets a setback on the next thing it tries to do because it has to kind of like it's a little bit shook up by what its little buddy there just did.
I mean, the sound of that yelp is one that's so primal. That for, you know, 4 of those advantage, the one next to it will upgrade the difficulty of its next thing as well. There's like a downstream effect of the hideousness of that thing's injury, and I'd say you've got 2 more advantage to play with.
Cool. It gives us a little bit of breathing room. I feel comfortable with Ruben being able to run in here, so I'm gonna heal 2 strain for
Good.
being relieved.
And you did take 3 strain from the flipping 3, using the 3 lights, right?
Yep. So I'm up 1
So
basically.
your net would be -1 strain
-1
on that
more.
turn.
Yep.
And then did you already flip the destiny?
Oh no, I'll do that.
I'll throw it in for you. I'm on it.
Okay.
There you
Cool.
go. Great. That was the first PC. Second PC. Oh, Roquan, are you doing anything else?
Nope. Just that.
All right.
Ted, get up here. You are up here. We got to go into this. Okay, wait, sorry. Let me rewind a little bit. The door's open,
The
or the
door's
code's
open.
been accessed. What
The
do we
door's open.
see?
Ted, Mookie, and Roquan are looking in.
What do we see?
Well, I mean, Ted, Roquan, and Mookie are looking into like a darkened hallway, and
Like, not much. It's like dark, and we can't see anything at this point.
well, Vod's not at the door, so I'm kind
Right.
of like,
Right. No, I mean for us, like the visual presentation is what before we move forward. For those who can see, what is it? Because I don't think I need to move. I don't
Ted,
think it.
Mookie, and Roquan are looking into they're looking into a building, probably about they can see like medium to them. There's like a wall. Is there just like they're at the doorway looking in? Medium to them in, they see a wall, and they have not kind of like entered yet. So that's what they would see.
Oh, there's an immediate wall, and they don't see past that. Okay.
About medium across an open space as they're looking in. So they don't look in and see a door. They look in and see a wall about medium in of what they
Okay.
can see standing at the door.
Okay. In my mind, I was imagining like this big balcony thing, but that's not what's happening. There's a wall. Okay.
They're looking in through the door, and there's like
Yeah.
there's a space, and across the space is a wall,
And it's dark.
and it's darkened in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, does somebody want to go? I can go. Nobody else does.
Go for it. Yeah, I'm not going.
Mookie's gonna take out her cybernetic arm and turn it on.
Okay.
To see if there are life forms moving about in that area inside the
And that can read about medium.
Medium.
Is that right?
Yeah, medium.
Yeah. And you're doing a perception check to see if you can pick up life forms. Is that
Yeah.
how that thing works?
Well, I don't do a perception check; it just does it.
Sure. Yep.
I don't have
yeah.
to do it. I check is from what I remember.
And what are all the things that thing picks up again?
So it's a basic scanner for medium range detection that displays data on the user's palm via holo projector.
Mhm.
Can show nearby motion, life forms, energy signatures, and other common targets as desired.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I love that. So you're at the doorway doing that.
Yep.
And as you're looking, Mookie, like you're not picking up any life forms, but it's kind
Okay.
of interesting because you are picking up, if you go to roll 20,
Mm-hmm.
as you like kind of are like looking into this area, you are picking up energy sources in a very like chaotic and moving manner, Mookie.
Mm.
Um, as you're looking in roll 20,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of picking up energy sources that are doing this
Ooh.
and are kind of like slowly kind of moving up, down, side to side in
Mm.
a in a somewhat discernible pattern, but that's not not initially apparent to the naked eye.
Okay.
But as you kind of squint, you're like, oh yeah, you can kind of like pick up some of that like almost like static in the air. But when you look at it on your hand scanner, you're like, whoa, those are emitting quite a bit of energy there.
Okay. So am I able to see through my holo projector the pattern that the lines are going in?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it okay, so I can kind of study this
Mm-hmm.
to because we don't want to enter and trip off another alarm. Um, can I study um, that pattern to find a pathway
Yeah, yeah,
into down the hallway, I guess?
yeah. You can kind of you can pick up these energy signals on your device. Yeah, yeah. And in doing that, Mookie, yeah, if you were like trying to see like how they intertwine or how they work, how they move, uh,
Hmm.
uh, you uh, you could potentially uh, help almost even like help almost like plot a course through that.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to plot a course.
Yeah.
And
So
can I do
you
that
look.
for the team or for
Yeah,
the
this is
group with me?
almost like you're helping someone pilot through difficult terrain. I would say that yeah, you could like use this, and you're kind of looking at it and looking at the geometric pattern
Hmm.
that it makes, where there's negative space and energy space. And if you give me if you succeed in a hard perception check, you would boost the ability of people to move through this area.
Hmm. Not piloting, huh? Okay.
No,
All right. Oops. Hold on. 2 greens, is that it?
I don't know what
Uh,
your
mm,
perception is.
yeah, my perception's not good. It's 2 greens. And then hard, 3 purples. Well, let's see. Oh, wow. I was successful, but there's 5 threat.
Yeah,
Can I ask
So
when
for yep.
Mookie was sensing this, does she have any sense of like where, like it's to my lower left or my any directional sense? I don't know how that works.
Filling the hallway like ceiling to floor in that space before the wall are these energy sources. Mookie, you were successful. So in directing someone to like move through this, you'd be able to give them a boost.
Okay.
The the 5 threats are the amount of processing as these things are moving and moving around as your hand scanner is trying to process all these various energy sources and keep up with while they're moving. It shorts out.
Okay.
So you kind of had a gander at it as to like the pattern that you were able to see in the area that you could see, but it just shorted out, and it's let's say it's it shorted out. It probably overheated, if you will, for a couple minutes.
Okay.
So for the
But I
next
was
2 round like that,
successfully
yes.
I was
You plotted a
successfully able
course.
to plot the course
Yes.
in which I can now walk even without my cybernetic arm functioning correctly.
Yep.
Okay.
For right now, you got a bearing on these that you just saw. That anyone in this area that you just looked at with this
Hmm.
would get a boost moving through this area if they wanted.
Okay.
You can guide them.
Great.
Uh, so you kind of did that at the door. Anything else you're gonna do?
No, I'm just going to tell everybody, hey, we can move through this hallway if we need to.
You mean there's
I think I
nothing
know. I
there?
think I know a path.
Oh, what's
Well,
there?
there's looks like some laser detectors, sensors that will probably sound off an alarm if we don't follow the path that I've charted out here.
Oh, so we can't just walk through here.
So
We have to
we can't
like
just walk through. No.
dodge
Yeah,
and
we got to
dive.
dance through it.
All right,
Yep,
all right.
exactly.
Thanks, Mookie. But also,
And
that was really confusing. I thought I could just stroll through, but okay, got it. Lasers,
no, you can't, bud. Yeah, we got to do the sneaky stuff.
the laser dance.
The laser dance. Yes. Okay, and Mookie, I'm done with my turn.
Okay. Next PC.
Anyone want to go? All right, Vod's looks and Mookie's trying to describe on her cybernetic arm where the lasers are and how the grid works. And he's going to. So I assume, is it right in front of us that I have to get through it, or is it
Yeah,
further?
yeah.
Okay.
You're looking at it from like no one's kind of entered the building yet, but you're kind of looking at in the open door, like, whoa, there's a matrix of energy that Mookie has identified by using her hand scanner. And when her hand scanner was on, there's like these it was very bright and apparent what was there, and with the hand scanner off, it's kind of like, oh, you can kind of squint and see some of these like
Yeah.
orangish bands in the air.
So Vod looks at Mookie's recording of it that she shared to give him the advantage of that, and is like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this all the time. I mean, actually, this is my first time, but I think I can do it. I've never done lasers, but I've seen these saws that come out. Some of the huts have these blades that they. I got this, guys." And so Vod's gonna try to use. I'm gonna do like a diving roll through a gap in the gaze in the lasers at the right time. It's like an agility or something thing.
Yep.
So,
So to get through these lasers without tripping them, if you're moving through them, what I want is an average coordination check yep,
okay.
as a pass fail.
All right. I'm gonna
And
I'm gonna
and
roll that.
you take a boost because Mookie was able to plot the course for you a bit.
All right. This is my coordination check with the boost.
Yeah.
Okay. Vod cockily, like, still like wiping and licking his gauntlets off, is looking at Mookie's thing and is like, we got this. And he kind of times it, he waits, takes some breaths, and then he just dives through that, what is the laser gate, and gets
Yep.
through and stands up and is like, no problem. And then I'm going to
So in
move.
this hallway, you're able to move. Yes.
And then, so as my action, as a like dive through the gates, and then I'm going to just like step around the corner and look beyond. Like, I just want to, again, just see. I'm not doing an investigation, just like what's around the corner. I'm still
What?
not sure of the layout, but like, can you tell me what I can see, or is there just a door
Where
that I can?
are you?
I've gone through the doorway, and then I've maybe gone to the right,
And so
which would
going through,
be to the west.
you, yep. So you could get to, kind of diving and moving through this. You could get to about, let's grab you. I'll help open this back up. So you've kind of walked along a wall, and you're able to like get to you're able to get to about there with moving medium,
And what do I
and
see there?
barely and so this wall that you can see, and if you look back behind you, it's just kind of like wall, and then you see kind of wall, and then you can kind of tell there's a curve around the corner, and this way
Can I ask, is
you,
I know we have things up on roll 20. Is the white yellow, is that
yeah,
the
that's the
white,
laser.
the white's
That's the
the white and yellow
lasers.
is the laser. Okay. All right. And the
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
is the wall. Okay.
And then if you peek around this, so Avad, I'm saying you're about here, and
Okay.
you can you can move just far enough that you can kind of peek around the corner, if you will,
Sure.
here, and like looking down this side, about as far as you can see here. On this side, you see like there's a series of like doors along this hallway, and then you can tell that there's like still kind of that faint orangish glow, uh lasery stuff going down this hallway that looks like a slightly different configuration than what you just rolled through.
Got it.
How's
Thank
that?
you. Yep. Good.
And right, and so yep, so those guys, uh, and then so this guy ends. This guy's running up to about there, and that's what he's doing. And this guy had already kind of run up to there previously, and so they're both there, and kind of none of the ends can really do anything because they've been on lockdown. And second to last PC.
Ruben? Ruben is going to start walking up the stairs, and he's going to start pointing at these mastiffs, and he's going to yell at them. It's like, you're being bad boys, bad girls, bad, bad, bad. No chasing, no, no fighting. No more liver cheese for you until you change that behavior. Bad.
Are you giving them? Are you giving a scathing tirade? Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's. So the ones that are all around the corner can hear you.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Which one are you? Which one are you directing it at?
I guess that it doesn't necessarily say, but if I only have one success, I have to pick one, which would probably just be the closest one.
Yeah, the one that's
You
like
know.
yelping and blind.
If I can get 3 success, I can hit all of them, basically.
So are you aiming at the one that's yelping at blind, the one that's next to it, or the one that's further away? Yelping and blind.
Probably not the blind one.
All right. So there's this one, and the blind one.
Okay.
All right. This one. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see it.
Yeah. Okay. It's just an average coercion. Coercion. Okay, I don't have any extra thing. Okay. Yep. So I can hit all 3 of them.
Yep.
So they all will take 1 strain.
Okay.
And the improved ability will make them have 4. All of them will have 4 rounds of a setback for their skill checks.
Okay. Four rounds of each get setback.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then you got that scathing tirade, was that a maneuver, an action, or how is that?
I'll just use it as an action.
Okay. And then you've got 2. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to thumbs down. Thumbs up. 2 maneuvers to spend is how much it would take to get up the stairs. Is 2 maneuvers to be up the onto the balcony.
He'll do that. He'll take the strain if he has to.
Okay. And did that triumph do anything? Sorry, in that scathing tirade, did the triumph do anything?
Well, I was just gonna reread the text and see if there's anything specific, but I don't believe there is.
Like triumph on a leadership check or anything, or no? It's a coercion check, isn't it?
It's a coercion. Yeah, there's nothing specifically in the text about that, but
I mean, a bare minimum, you could call it a free maneuver, but that would just be a bare. That's a bare
right.
minimum.
I mean, can I just say maybe could use it almost as advantages. Like if I was to inflict some extra strain on one of them, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just say like 3.
3 extra on one of them that you targeted.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that those 3 are going to the blinded one because it's just like it's having a real bad day.
Okay.
And as you walk in and scream at the dogs, the guards who saw you do that hear that, and they're both like, nobody yells at our dogs, and so the next one of them to act is going to get a boost in targeting you. One boost targeting Ruben, and Ruben, you're up on the balcony.
Okay.
Just
I'm pretty much at the door.
You're at the door.
Not inside though. Okay.
You're kind of right at the door, right next to Ted, whose turn it is.
As a time check, I
Yep.
think Luke's probably on a little bit of time here.
Yeah,
So
we're
just
just gonna
like
we have one PC left. Luke sent I have to bail soon, and I said let's finish this round, and so we have one PC,
perfect.
and then we're done.
Who is the last PC?
Ted.
Ted is okay.
Oh no, Ted disappeared.
Oh, we're losing Ted.
What?
Who did that? That's so dirty. Ted, Ted,
Ted.
you with us?
Ted.
What's happening up there in your parts? Ted, I'm talking to the boy.
Ted.
Well,
Do what must be done.
Ted's turn.
Oh my God, who's doing this? There he is. There he is. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, Ted's mute
He's
doesn't
not
work.
muted. Write it out,
He can do
Ted.
sound bites, but he can't talk.
Just chat it. Just chat it.
Oh, he might be blocked in chat. I am.
Yeah, why can't we type in the chat? I wonder.
Whoever has access to this is gonna have to give us permissions.
Kind of weird.
Text it.
No, we're back. Ted, no, you had your voice for a second. Do it again. I heard you for a half a second.
Mouth it out.
Oh, it's not on. All right.
What?
I think he wants us to go to teams.
It's actually probably in character. Ted is talking, but no one really knows what he's talking about.
He just said, "I'm going
If you're
in
gonna-
Rogue One." I got you. I got you, Ted.
He's going in.
He's going
Yep.
in.
Yep. My voice is. I'm going in.
He's going in. He
He's
says
going
that.
in.
All right. What's next, Ted?
Ted, roll a average coordination check with a boost. Pass fail.
Laser gate.
Oh, he wrote it in Road 1.
Yep. And yep, he's typing. Cool. Got it. We're gonna get this, guys.
Is he typing a dice or Rogue One?
Yeah, he's rolling. There he is. And just
There we go.
average. There you go. Yeah. So 3 success. Ted can navigate this hallway no problem. You have it would take 2 maneuvers to get to where VOD is right now. Your action was kind of going through the lasers. So if you do take the 2 maneuvers, it would cost 2 strain to do that, to get to VOD.
Quack once for yes, quack twice for no.
There's something really sad and sweet about a mute Ted.
Yes, I'm going in.
He's
How
traumatized.
far 2 strain to get to VOD? Or no strain to get half to VOD?
It's so hard to RPG these days. The
Yep.
technology.
Ooh.
Got it. All right. So Ted has caught up with Ted came in, was able to climb through the lasers, no problem in this hallway, and is up with VOD. Ted can look around that corner too and see 3 doors down the wall and a different type of matrix of lasers going down this hallway. Ruben and Mookie are at the doorway, and Roquan is kind of at the doorway as well. The 3 dogs here are all bound. This guard is free. This dog is free. This guard is free. And that is where it will stand until we get back together again next week.
Yay.
Ready to
You
turn it down?
Sign out, my friend.
All right. Well, Twitcheroos, we moved to Discord, and it was full of bugs. But we're going to get it figured out, and we're going to be right back next week with more adventures in the Sesquana Vault on the next The Shepherd Sling. Bye, everybody!